Last class we had discussed about total internal reflection. Now today we will look at some of the applications of total internal reflection. Some of them you've already learned in your lower classes like mirage, brilliancy of diamonds, etc. Now today we are going to look at a particular case, and that is totally reflecting prism, and that's the topic of the day. Now, totally reflecting prisms are basically three types. Now, before going into the types, what is a reflecting prism? We consider a section of a prism which has got angles 90 degree, 45 degree and 45 degree. And depending upon how we place this prism, you will get the image of an object placed in front of it. And that is how we decide what the purpose of or what the reflecting prism is going to act as. So the first one that we are going to consider is simple reflecting prism. So the first one is simple reflecting prism. And for that I am going to consider a prism. This is a reflecting prism with 45 degree, 90 degree, 45 degree angles. Now, you have an object placed in front of this prism. So, let's place an object. Now, to obtain the image of this object, you need to draw incident rays coming from the object which will pass through the prism and may undergo total internal reflection and come out and form an image. So, we will start drawing an incident ray which starts from the top of the object. So, the first line, I take it like this. Now, why did I take a straight line? This is a straight line, and this line, the incident ray going from the object is meeting this line at 90 degree. So, the ray will not deviate, it will just enter the prism. Now, next it goes and meets this glass air interface. This is glass, this is air. So, it goes and hits the glass air interface. At what angle? Yes. So, you have to draw a normal here to obtain a reflected ray or a totally, or we have to find whether it is a reflected ray or a refracted ray or a totally internal reflected ray. So, to find that you need to know what is the angle of incidence at this interface. Now, to find that, I'll tell you a little geometry. You have two lines, some angle between them, and then you draw perpendicular to each of those lines. Now, those two perpendicular lines will meet and they will form an angle. The angle between these two perpendicular lines will be same as the angle between the first two lines. I'll show you. I'll take the simplest example first. Say you have two lines. They are perpendicular to each other. Now I draw a perpendicular to the first line. So I draw a perpendicular to the first line. Now I draw a perpendicular to the second line. Okay. So I draw, this is the second line. I draw a perpendicular to the second line. So what happens? This I said is 90 degree. So this angle is also 90 degree. This makes your square. Same way, you take any two lines, okay, any angle. Say this is 45 degree between them, okay. Now, I draw a perpendicular to this line and I draw a perpendicular to this line. These two, this is 90 degree, 90 degree. These two will meet and they will form an angle. That angle will also be equal to 45 degree. This you would have learned in your geometry classes. So that particular thing we are going to apply here. So you have 45 degree at this vertex and you have the normal. This is your line and this is a line perpendicular. The normal is perpendicular to this side of your prism. So if this is 45 degree, the angle between these two lines, angle between these two lines have to be 45 degree. What is the principle applied? You have two lines and there is some angle between them. you draw perpendicular to both of those lines, the angle between the new perpendicular lines will be same as the angle between the first two lines. This is simple geometry. So this is 45 degree. Now the best part of our total internally reflecting prism is its critical angle is 42 degree. That is, the totally reflecting prism's critical angle is 42 degree and 45 degree is greater than 42 degree. So it has to undergo total internal reflection. So it reflects and angle of incidence, if it is reflecting, angle of incidence will have to be angle of reflection also. So this goes straight like this and this angle is also 45 degree. Now the same way, so I'm drawing off all these things, 45 degree and stuffs. Okay, you have your normal. So this is 45 degree, this is 45 degree. Now from the bottom, I draw my second incident ray. So this is 45, this is 45. Same thing happens here. This will also be 45 and this will also be 45. They go like this. So you have your object's head here. The head will be here and the image object's tail here and the tail this side. So you see, you have your object kept like this and you have your image kept like this. You have your object kept like this, your image is fallen like this. So you have a simple reflecting prism. A simple reflecting prism's application is in periscope. You can remove the mirror in the periscope and place this prism. So it serves better. And that is about simple reflecting prism. Now the second one is reversing prism. So second one is reversing prism. Now as I said, the prism is going to be the same, 45 degree, 90 degree. The way you place it will be a little different. You are going to place it like this. You have your hypotenuse like this and like this. So 45 degree, 90 degree here. This is your 90 degree and this is also 45 degree. This is how your reversing prism look like. Now we will again place an object. Okay, the same pattern. You have an object. We are going to drop an incident ray to it. It will go and hit at, this is 45 degree. So this is also 45 degree. And it goes, what happens? It hits this surface. There is one more surface where it will undergo total internal reflection. So what happens to this? It turns this side. So this is the path of the ray. Object from here, 45 degree. So 90 degree. This entire angle is 90 degree. It goes and hits. Total internal reflection again goes this side. Now we start from here. It goes like this. From here it goes and hits this surface and again total internally reflected, it comes here. So you have your, now this is the head, head. So this is the head, the tail. So you have a reversed image or an inverted image. Though it is inverted, we call it as a reversing prism. So this is a reversing prism and this is basically used in binoculars. Now we have the third one and that is erecting prism. So if we place an object which is inverted or kept like this, you will have an image which is erect. Actually, reversing prism can also be used for that purpose. So we will see how that looks like. And that is the third one, that is erecting prism. And how do we keep the prism? We keep it like this. Okay, this is 90 degree, 45 degree, 45 degree. Now we are going to place an object which is already inverted and then we will see what happens to the image. So I keep an object here. Okay. So a ray going like this. What happens? It will have to undergo total internal reflection at this surface itself because this is not 90 degree. So it cannot just pass on. It will bend. So here, does it undergo total internal reflection? That's the second question. Now here, when I draw a normal, to this normal, this is your 90 degree. Okay, this is your line. This is your normal here. Okay, this just undergo refraction. The angle is no way 45 degree. It's not. It's from air to glass. That means it is from a rarer medium to a denser medium. Total internal reflection happens only when it passes from a denser medium to a rarer medium. So what happens to this? This will just undergo refraction. So we need not have this normal here. This will undergo refraction like this. But at this surface, this is glass, this is air, it falls at 45 degree, it will undergo total internal reflection and it will go back like this. Again, at the surface, it will undergo refraction, not total internal reflection, it will undergo refraction like this. Same way, when we draw from here, you will get it like this. So this is your head comes here, tail goes up. So you had, or if you had an inverted image, that's what we talked about, you will have an erect image. If you have an inverted object, you will have an erect image. So the difference is how we place our prism. Here it undergoes refraction, then here total internal reflection because it is trying to go from glass to air. But you may have this question here, why is this not getting totally internal reflected? Because the angle of incidence is not 45 degree. So that is about total internal reflection in prisms, that is reflecting prisms. Thank you.